We are excited to have you here today for the webinar hosted by Reliance Infosystems, themed Unlocking Business Growth with Cloud Application Modernization. My name is Nifemi Fashui, and I'm going to be your anchor for today's program. Before we start, I would want to intimate us with a few housekeeping rules. This presentation is going to be recorded for documentation purposes. By virtue of you participating, you have consented to being recorded. All attendees have been muted and we've turned off our cameras for decorum purposes. We are also going to be asking some engaging questions in the course of this webinar. So please, we crave that you engage these questions when they drop in the chat window. If you also have questions of your own, please place your questions in the chat window and an expert is going to get to them in no time. In the course of this webinar, we would also be sending a solutions form at the end of it and a feedback form at the end of the webinar as well. We would like you to fill out this form so we can find out the best ways to meet your needs. Thank you so much. To introduce our anchors and speakers now, we have me, Nifemi Fashui, as your anchor, and we have our first speaker, Enoch France, who's a DevOps engineer here at Reliance Infosystems, and Promise Igbo, a platform and site reliability engineer here also at Reliance Infosystems. In the course of this webinar, we'll be looking at an introduction to app modernization, the best ways to identify legacy applications, choosing the right Azure services, best practices for app modernization, some case studies. We'll take your questions and answers, and then we'll have a formal conclusion and farewell. A brief introduction of Reliance Infosystems. Reliance Infosystems is an award-winning ICT organization. We are physically present in a few countries, including Canada, where we have our headquarters, the UK, UAE, Pakistan, Egypt, Botswana, Kenya, and Nigeria. Our goal is to create enduring partnerships with our customers to ensure that with the solutions we can provide for them, they can meet their corporate objectives. We abide by a success outcome philosophy that involves winning with our customers. We are not separate entities where we provide solutions and leave you hanging. We are with you at every step of the way to ensure that everything that we provide for you is of good use to your organization. We would help you maximize every solution. So at Reliance Infosystems, we measure our success by how well our partners have been able to win in their own endeavors. Our work has been recognized in the past, and we have won a number of awards to that effect, including the Microsoft Partner of the Year Award 3 years. We have a few solution partner designations, including Azure Infrastructure, Data and AI, Digital and App Modernization, Business Applications, and Cloud Solutions. Some of our partners are Microsoft, Cisco, Sophos, Avaya, and Hewlett-Packard, to name a few. Before I conclude, I'll run us through our success pillars. We have the business transformation, operational excellence, and protection assurance pillars. Business transformation involves assisting your businesses to transform digitally, lowering your costs, increasing your efficiency, and maximizing your productivity. To this effect, we have a few solutions here, which include identity and access management, data center automation, intelligent building solution, and cloud hosting solutions. What we do is to deploy the solution so that you can leverage the scalability, flexibility, and pervasiveness of the cloud. Operational excellence involves automating existing processes. We are familiar with the fact that some processes can take a long time to turn around into results. So with some solutions such as modern enterprise resource planning solutions, customer engagement, and digital advisory, we speed up the rate at which your business is conducted, such that you can have more time to generate even more revenue. Finally, we have the protection assurance pillar, which is also known as rest of mind as a service. This involves us providing solutions that would ensure that you can focus on running your business while being assured that your business information is safe and not accessible to hackers or any form of threats. Here we provide endpoint protection, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, and security audits. Before I hand over to the first speaker, Enoch, I would want us to take 60 seconds to think about this. Why do you think cloud app modernization is necessary for your organization? We hope this webinar will be very insightful for you. I will call on Enoch now to take us through unlocking business growth with cloud application modernization. Thank you for listening. Enoch, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nifemi, and good day, everyone. Welcome once more to this webinar on unlocking business growth with application modernization. My name is Enoch France, and I'm a DevOps engineer at Reliance Infosystems. So one might be wondering, what is cloud application modernization? So every business is powered by applications, and to be successful in today's digital and fast-paced world, one needs to modernize their applications, and then to remain competitive and meet the ever-changing demands of their competitors. So the process of modernizing replaces older technology stacks with cloud-native ones, which enable applications to be more scalable, fault tolerant, maintainable, and more secure and cheaper to run than their traditional counterparts. So why do businesses seek to then modernize their applications? Let's look at some of the reasons why they do. So digital transformation is a priority for most enterprises looking to increase business agility by automating processes, delivering rich customer experiences, and launching new products and services. So today, building and sustaining a competitive advantage is linked not to size or strength, but to the ability to change, to move quickly, adapt, and seize opportunities. So businesses across the globe spend trillions of dollars on IT services and maintaining their enterprise applications and software. They spend a considerable amount of their IT budget on simply maintaining the infrastructure they are using to run their businesses. However, they can drastically cut down on these maintenance costs if they modernize their current application stack and make them the cloud-native applications they are. This can help them increase their productivity and also cut down on their IT operations. So today, let's look at how they can modernize their applications to take advantage of the features of the cloud. So here are some modernization triggers. Let's look at a few. One is data center contracts expiring. So it is one of the reasons businesses seek to modernize their applications. As these data center contracts come to an end, organizations can then re-evaluate their infrastructure and decide whether to renew, expand, or transition to alternative solutions. This presents an ideal time to consider modernizing their applications and then migrating them to cloud-based services, which can offer cost savings, improve scalability, and more efficient resource utilization compared to traditional data centers. Another would also be delivering applications and features faster. So businesses are under increasing pressure to deliver new applications and features at a rapid pace to stay competitive in the market. So modernizing applications can help accelerate development and deployment processes, leveraging agile methodologies, continuous integration and delivery pipelines, and cloud-based services. So this enables organizations to quickly respond to changing customer demands, streamline the deployment and development processes, and ultimately bring their products and services faster to market. As the business also continues to grow, user demand increases, and they may encounter urgent capacity needs that their current infrastructure cannot handle. So modernizing applications can help address these by providing scalable and elastic solutions that can quickly adapt to fluctuations in demand. By leveraging cloud-based resources, businesses can quickly add or remove capacity as needed, ensuring that they can handle traffic spikes and maintain optimal performance without over-provisioning resources. When organizations also face the need for software or hardware refresh, it can also be a prime opportunity to modernize their applications. So upgrading to newer technologies and platforms can help improve application performance, security, and maintainability. So by taking advantage of the latest tools and frameworks, businesses can ensure their applications remain competitive and can meet the ever-evolving needs of their customers. As cybersecurity threats also continue to evolve and become more sophisticated, businesses must proactively modernize their applications to stay ahead of these risks. So by incorporating modern security best practices and technologies such as encryption, multi-factor authentication, and zero trust models, organizations can better protect their applications and sensitive data from potential attacks and data breaches. Also, meeting regulatory requirements is a crucial factor driving businesses to modernize their applications. So as regulations emerge or existing ones change, organizations must ensure that their applications adhere to these standards. So modernizing applications can help businesses maintain compliance by implementing up-to-date security measures, data protection mechanisms, and privacy controls. So modernizing applications can open new business opportunities by enabling organizations to enter new markets, create innovative products and services, and also improve upon their customer experiences. By leveraging cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data analytics, businesses can gain insights, optimize processes, and create new revenue streams that were previously unattainable. When software also reaches its end of support stage, businesses must then decide whether to continue using these outdated softwares, which pose security and compatibility risks, or to modernize the application, upgrading to newer software versions, or transitioning to alternative platforms can help organizations avoid potential vulnerabilities and maintain compatibility with other systems, and ensure that they have their access to latest features and improvements. You might also be wondering that how can I make sure that my existing applications can take maximum advantage of the cloud's capabilities? You might also be worried that you might have to start from scratch, or you have a lot of apps. Your worry ends here, as there are various approaches to cloud modernization, and you will learn about them as we go on. So, by modernizing applications with Microsoft Azure, customers can improve time to market, providing support for applications and databases using the framework language of their choice to help them achieve greater agility, scale in the cloud, and be empowered to take advantage of low-code, containers, DevOps, machine learning, just to mention a few. In addition, Azure can help deliver innovative experiences for customers and employees with data-driven insights across an organization's web applications, infrastructure, and databases to increase efficiencies. Furthermore, Azure can help businesses improve security and reliability of the application's performance thanks to a wide variety of built-in security services and a global footprint of across more than 60 regions. Not all applications and databases will follow the same path to the cloud, and for that reason, Microsoft's approach to application and database modernization involves a portfolio evaluation process to help customers understand the best path to the cloud for their applications and databases based on their specific business and IT needs. So Microsoft enables its customers to employ a mix of modernization and migration strategies, and I refer to them as the 6 R's of modernization. Let's look at a few of them. We have here the rehosting. So this is sometimes called the lift and shift. And this migration strategy emphasizes speed because it requires practically no code changes, and organizations can take apps from their previous environment and transition them as is to their current environment in the cloud. There's also the refactoring or repackaging. Refactoring prioritizes speed as well as productivity. And with this strategy, apps only need minimal code changes so that they can connect easily and make the most of a cloud-first environment. There's also rebuilding. For recreating an app using cloud solutions, rebuilding is sometimes the right option. It's a heavier lift, but for existing applications, it may be essential to improve their span of life, and it will help you add pockets of new features to them. There's also the replacing, and if an app doesn't meet your current or future business needs, after even rebuilding, replacing it with a ready-made solution may be necessary, and this approach can be faster than rebuilding, and it frees up valuable development resources. But note that replacing apps could pose challenges, including interruptions to business processes and limitations to future modernization initiatives. So for the chief information officers, customer experience officers, and database administrators that are with us today, who need to accelerate their time to market and deliver more innovative experience, they can look to Microsoft Azure, as it supports the entire gamut of application modernization from AI to DevOps and low-code to managed infrastructure. So here are some benefits of application modernization. So when organizations don't have to devote as much time and resources to maintaining applications and infrastructure, they can spend more time innovating cloud-based tools and services to further help streamline the development process, resulting in a faster time to market. So with also a cloud-first approach, organizations can use built-in updating and security capabilities to help safeguard their workloads. Other built-in features can also include task automation for important things like high availability, disaster recovery, backups, and performance monitoring. There's also the advantage of modernizing apps that they'll be able to work with the most current technology, and they'll keep working even as the technology evolves. And this seamlessness allows for quick updates and changes to meet current and future business needs. It can also enable automatic scaling so that apps would continue to work well when there are sudden increases in demand, and to instantly reduce costs when there are sudden decreases in demand. And this is sometimes also known as elasticity. There's also efficiency, and when done thoughtfully, modernizing existing applications can be easier than creating new ones from scratch. That way, organizations can build on existing investments rather than sink time and money into something new. And app modernization also helps retain many current processes and maintain business continuity compared with plugging completely new applications into existing operations. So I hope you are finding this webinar informative. I'll soon be introducing a poll question to further enhance our discussion and make it more engaging. So please keep an eye out on your screen as the poll questions would appear momentarily. I encourage all of you to participate as your input would help us better understand your thoughts and tailor future content to your needs. So the poll question is as follows. Which of the following benefits of cloud application modernization is most important to your organization? So kindly take a moment to provide your response. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. All right, moving on. Let's look at how to identify legacy applications. So legacy applications often possess certain characteristics that can impede their ability to adapt to modern business requirements and technological advancements. Some of these characteristics include, but they are not limited to what we have here. Legacy applications are often built in silos, in isolation without considering for integration or communication with other systems. And this results in the application silos that hinder data sharing, collaboration, and overall business efficiency. So such isolation prevents organizations from fully leveraging the potential of modern interconnected systems, limiting their ability to innovate and adapt to evolving demands. Another thing to look out for is that older applications typically support a narrow range of platforms, devices, or form factors, and this limits or restricts user access and adaptability, making it challenging to provide seamless and consistent user experience across various environments. So as technology advances and new platforms emerge, this limitation becomes increasingly detrimental, preventing organizations from keeping pace with modern user expectations. Legacy systems often also accumulate vast amounts of data over time, and that may be stored in outdated formats or structures. So this excessive data can lead to difficulties in managing that data and increased storage costs. Additionally, the sheer volume of data can create challenges in complying with data protection regulations and maintaining data privacy. So managing physical servers and infrastructure for legacy applications is also resource intensive and costly. So organizations must dedicate time and resources to maintain, update, and address potential vulnerabilities, which detract from focusing on specific or strategic IT initiatives. Furthermore, aging infrastructure is more prone to failures and performance issues, increasing the risk of downtime and negatively affecting business operations overall. Lastly, legacy systems often demand extensive capacity planning upfront with fixed scaling options that lack flexibility. So this rigidity hampers an organization's ability to respond to fluctuating demands, innovate, and grow. So as businesses transition to more agile and cost-effective scaling options, such cloud-based services, these limitations can become more apparent, hindering potential for rapid adaptation and efficiency gains. So let's take 60 seconds to ponder over these questions. What applications in your current environment are good candidates for app modernization? And also, what factors make them stand out for modernization? So take into consideration some of the things we've discussed, like how you can identify legacy applications, and we'll soon look at the future of modernizing your application. So take all that into consideration to help you point out what applications do you think are ready for modernization in your current stack. So let's look at the future of applications. So in future, modernizing legacy applications will involve creating multi-channel solutions that encompass all possible touch points. And this means that applications will need to be accessible and functional across various platforms and environments. And users should be able to access applications via their web browsers, mobile devices, desktop applications, or even voice-controlled assistants. This omni-channel approach would ensure a seamless user experience, allowing for users to switch between devices and platforms without losing any functionality or experiencing any inconveniences. Legacy applications must also be modernized to cater for the ever-growing variety of platforms, and developers need to consider not only traditional devices like our desktops and laptops, they should also consider the various operating systems and browsers that these devices may be running on. So by designing applications to be adaptable and responsive to various devices, developers can ensure that users have a consistent and enjoyable experience, no matter the device or platform of their choice. As the importance of data and analytics also continues to grow, modernizing legacy applications would require incorporating data-driven intelligence into their design. This may include using machine learning algorithms to analyze user behavior, offer personalized recommendations, or even automate certain tasks. So integrating data-driven intelligence can help applications become more efficient, user-friendly, and capable of anticipating user needs. Additionally, applications can be designed to collect and analyze user data in real time, which will lead to continuous improvement and evolution. Modernizing legacy applications will also require shifts in focus from maintaining and managing infrastructure to enhancing application functionality. So with the rise of cloud computing and serverless architectures, developers can now offload much of the infrastructure management to third-party providers. This allows them to concentrate on improving core functionality of their applications and tools, and developers can quickly scale their applications, experiment with new features, and optimize performance, all without the burden of managing any underlying infrastructure. Lastly, as businesses continue to grow and user demand also grows, modernizing legacy applications will involve ensuring that they can scale elastically to meet these increased needs. This means that these applications should be designed to handle sudden spikes in traffic and accommodate growing number of users and support the addition of new features and functionality without degradation in performance. So by leveraging upon cloud-based resources and adopting microservice architectures, this allows developers to create applications that are highly scalable and resilient. This not only allows businesses to accommodate growth, but it also ensures that they can quickly adapt to changes in the market and as user demand grows. So microservice applications, they are more agile, scalable, and resilient. And let's look at some of the key benefits of re-architecting with microservices. So by re-architecting with microservices, you have enhanced flexibility. And this means that the microservices would allow you to upgrade or modify or take down your application and individual resources without affecting the overall application and providing better adaptability and resilience. You'd also have improved manageability, which means that your developers can focus on smaller individual services without making them easier. That will make them easier to manage overall and understand and also maintain. There's also a superior fault tolerance. In case of failure of one service, the application can then continue to work without interruption, ensuring consistent performance and reliability. Okay, I have a question here from Nanny's. You're asking if there's migration fees from on-prem to cloud and how much it costs. So data ingress is normally not billed. You'd rather be billed when you are there's data egress, so you are downloading data from the cloud to whatever application is pulling that required data. So you normally don't pay for data ingress. About costs, you can reach out to Reliance Infosystems. There will be a link in the description where an expert can discuss the cost of migration, because you have to carry out an assessment of your current environment, and all those factors might attribute to the overall cost of migration to the cloud. I believe that answers your question, Nance. Okay. I don't think I have any more questions here. So, so in this presentation, we discussed the importance of cloud application modernization using Microsoft Azure, which leads to faster innovation, better security, and increased efficiency. We also covered various modernization strategies and characteristics of legacy applications. Now, let me introduce you to Promise Ibo, who will guide you through choosing the right Azure services. Take it away, Promise.
So good day, everyone. My name is Promise Ibo, a platform and site reliability engineer. I will be discussing briefly with us on choosing the right Azure services to modernize our application. So before I go ahead, I would like us to drop our questions on the chat box and provide answers to your questions. So for you to move your to modernize your application using the right services, it's a very important decision because it involves planning, it involves timelines, and also budgets. So this does not involve the on-premises infrastructure where you need to pay for upfront costs, you need to maintain infrastructure, you need to buy software licenses. But now this involves deploying on Azure Cloud Platform, where you only pay for what you use. So you can provision and deprovision resources using your Azure Cloud Platform. So Microsoft Azure is a platform that enables you to easily build, manage, and deploy your application on a massive global network using your favorite platform, because it involves you choosing to deploy your application using the infrastructure as a service, using the platform as a service, using software as a service, or you can as well go with the hybrid connection. So it's also a powerful tool because the Azure Cloud Platform, where you can optimize your application, you can carry out continuous integration and continuous development and continuous deployment, So it also have support for open source technologies. You can integrate with your GitHub. You can deploy using the Linux operating system environment. You can use the Windows operating system environment. And as well, you can also integrate with your Visual Studio or your Visual Studio Code. So I'll be introducing you to each of these services used to modernize your application. We have the Azure App Service, the Azure Kubernetes Service, the Azure Container Instances, and as well as the Azure Container Apps. So these platforms are fully secured, and they have Azure monitoring integrated in it. They can also be integrated with Azure DevOps to enable you to optimize your applications. And as well, we can use any operating system of your choice, which I called before, which can be the Linux operating system or the DevOps operating system. So before I discuss on each of these services, I would like you to use a minute of your time to answer this third question. So like I said, we can use these services to modernize our application. So I'd like you to think of where these services falls on, where this platform falls on. Do they fall on infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service? So Azure App Service is it's an HTTP-based service used to host your web application. You can use it to host your web application, your REST APIs, your mobile backend. So it's a platform that enables you to auto scale, so you can deploy your application and you can scale based on CPU cores, based on instances, based on metrics. You can deploy your containerized applications, and you can deploy your non-containerized applications on your Azure App Service. So it supports different frameworks of your choice. And as well, you can also have different environments on your Azure App Service. You can deploy to your testing environment on your app service before even moving to your production environment right in your app service. So it also has support for different templates like the WordPress and the Joomla, and as well as it can be integrated with the Visual Studio or the Visual Studio Code, and you can also monitor your application right in the Azure App Service. So if you want to have, you just want to deploy your application, you don't want to manage the underlying infrastructure, you can make use of Azure App Service to modernize your application. So for the Azure Kubernetes service, this is an open source container orchestrator used to manage your containerized applications. So if you're very conversant with Kubernetes, you know that Kubernetes has a control plane and a worker node. So deploy your application on Azure App Service. Azure takes care of the control plane while you deploy on the worker nodes. So you provision the worker nodes, you provision the sizes of the nodes you want to deploy your application. So while you deploy your containerized application on your Kubernetes service, you can efficiently monitor your application. You can carry out, you can deploy quickly your containerized application. You can debug, you can auto upgrade, you can as well auto scale your application. You can integrate with your GitHub or your DevOps to enable you quickly deploy your containerized application on Azure App Service. So next is the Azure Container Instances. So this is an isolated platform used to deploy or manage your containerized application. It's not an orchestrator. You use it to deploy, you can use it to test your containerized application. It has a faster startup time, and then you can customize sizes of the size of the container instances. You can customize the size you want to deploy your application. So you can choose the CPU cores and the memory bytes, because now you are only paying, or you're only being billed for what you use. And then you can choose a customized DNS to access your application. You can also deploy your file. You can also mount your file shares on Azure Container Instances. And as well, you can deploy both on choosing the Linux operating system environment and as well the Windows operating system environment. So for your Azure Container Apps, it's a fully managed platform used to manage your containerized application. So it gives you the ability to auto scale. You can enable HTTP ingress right in your container apps. You don't need to install an ingress controller. You just enable it in your Azure Container Apps. You can split traffic between multiple container revisions in your container apps. So maybe you carried out an upgrade and you want to test the feature that you integrated in your application. You can split traffic between the containers in your Azure Container Apps. And you also have Dapper integrated in the Azure Container App Service. So instead of installing Dapper, you have it integrated in your Azure Container Apps. So you want to deploy your microservices application using Dapper, you can make use of your Azure Container App Services. So you can also monitor your applications on Azure Container Apps. So this is a fully managed platform that enables you to deploy or manage your container application, your containerized applications. So Azure enables you to decrease your develop to deployment time. So it enables you to innovate better. It increases your agility. It enables you to meet your needs. So if you have an existing application and you're looking forward to increasing business value, you can use any of these services to modernize your applications. So these services can be used to modernize your application, and like I said, the app service can be used to modernize both your containerized applications and not containerized application can be deployed using your app service. Thank you very much. I'll be handing over to Eno.
Thank you, Promise. So in a rapidly evolving digital landscape, application modernization is more important than ever. It ensures that our businesses remain agile, competitive, and responsive to the ever-changing needs of our customers. So as we embark on this critical journey, I would like to share some essential best practices that would guide our efforts and help us achieve desired outcomes. So in the coming moments, we would explore key aspects of application modernization, such as assessing our current application portfolio, defining clear objectives, and choosing right modernization approaches. So we will also discuss the importance of embracing cloud-native mindsets and compliance, and also implementing continuous integration and deployment. Furthermore, we will delve into the significance of user experience, fostering a culture of collaboration, monitoring, and measuring success. Okay. So I'll be highlighting some key points to consider during application modernization process. Please note that these points are critical to successful application modernization. They are by no means exhaustive, and there are many other factors to consider. The specific needs of your organization may require additional attention to other aspects. Nonetheless, these points serve as a strong foundation for guiding your modernization efforts and ensuring that your application migration process is a success. Now let's dive into each and every one of them. So assessing your current application portfolio, you start by taking a comprehensive inventory of your existing applications, evaluating their age, performance, scalability, and alignment with business goals. And this assessment will guide you or help you identify applications that require immediate modernization, as well as those that can be deferred or retired. So by prioritizing the critical applications, you can better allocate resources and focus on areas that would provide the most significant impact on your organization. It is also essential to establish quantifiable business goals and outcomes for your modernization efforts. And these objectives should be aligned with your organization's overall strategy and tailored to address specific pain points or areas of improvement by setting clear objectives, so you can maintain focus throughout the modernization process and measure success of your efforts against these established benchmarks. Each application will also require a different modernization strategy depending on its goals. So common approaches include rehosting, refactoring, re-architecturing, rebuilding, which we've covered on earlier. And by carefully selecting the right approach, you can optimize the modernization process, minimizing disruptions and ensure the best possible outcomes for your organization. So adopting cloud-native technologies and methodologies such as microservices, containerization, DevOps can significantly increase your organization's agility. And this mindset enables you to leverage the full potential of cloud platforms, allowing for faster, more efficient development and deployment of applications. So by embracing a cloud-native approach, you can stay ahead of the competition and adapt to the ever-evolving digital landscape. You can also prioritize security and compliance. So application modernization efforts must prioritize security and compliance, ensuring modernization to adhere to the best industry practices and meet relevant regulations and standards. So by incorporating security measures at every stage of the modernization process, you can safeguard your organization's data, protect your customers' information, and mitigate potential risks. CI/CD pipeline automation also helps you integrate code changes, testing, and then deployment of your applications. So by implementing continuous integration and continuous deployment, you can enable faster release cycles, improve software quality, and reduce the risk of errors or downtime during your deployment. This approach allows your organizations to stay agile and responsive to the changing needs of your customers and the market. So by understanding and implementing some of these best practices, you can successfully modernize your applications, ensuring that your organization remains competitive, innovative, and agile in today's rapidly changing digital environment. So let's take 60 seconds to think about these questions. So what are the most critical factors to consider when planning an application modernization initiative? And how can you ensure that these factors are addressed effectively? While you're at it, I would also drop another poll question just to gather your feedback on what we've covered so far. So the poll question would be, how do you think application modernization would impact your organization's overall performance? So take a moment to answer these questions and also answer the poll question. Okay, so in the next few slides, we'll explore some fascinating case studies that demonstrate the transformation power of Azure in real-world scenarios. And these cases cover organizations from diverse industries and regions, showcasing how they successfully optimize their digital infrastructure, enhance their customer experience, and improved overall operational efficiency. It's worth noting that Reliance Infosystems, a Microsoft partner, has worked closely with these organizations to facilitate their success. So as we delve deeper in the details of these case studies, you will gain valuable insights into the practical applications and benefits of Azure for organizations like yours. So Reliance Infosystems played a crucial role in the digital transformation of a state government in Nigeria. The government agency decided to migrate their applications and websites from Bluehost to Microsoft Azure, leading to a significant optimization of their digital infrastructure. And with the assistance of Reliance Infosystems, the government was able to overcome challenges related to domain and app management, cost optimization, security concerns, and administrative processes using Azure's slew of services. So one of the main issues faced by the government was the slow performance of their websites, which resulted in a poor user experience. And after migrating to Azure, the website's performance improved dramatically, providing a seamless browsing experience for the users. Moreover, internal server errors and front door problems, which previously caused website crashes, were effectively resolved. Furthermore, the agency streamlined the process of creating custom domains for app services, making the administrative process more efficient and user-friendly. Cost optimization was also achieved by leveraging Azure services, which resulted in a significant reduction in operational costs. I'd also like to highlight another successful case study, which demonstrates the power of Azure DevOps. So in driving digital innovation for a Nigerian security company, they specialize in enterprise security risk management. This successful implementation of Azure DevOps was made possible with the expert guidance and support of Reliance Infosystems. So recognizing the importance of digital solutions to meet their clients, the security company decided to leverage upon Azure DevOps. And this strategic decision enabled them to offer integrated end-to-end solutions that streamlined their operations and significantly improved upon their overall performance. So with Azure DevOps, the company was able to enhance project management efficiently across all stages, from planning and development to testing and deployment. And this led to faster and higher quality software product delivery, empowering their clients to better manage security risks. Let us also discuss the benefits of AKS through another inspiring case studies of a Ghanaian financial institution that embarked on a digital transformation journey. So this institution chose to adopt Azure Kubernetes service to address several challenges and drive innovation in their services. And one of the key benefits they experienced was the automation of routine tasks, which freed up employees to focus on more strategic, higher-level functions. And this in turn led to an improved user experience overall. And customers can now access self-service options without the need to frequently visit the banking hall, thanks to the implementation of AKS to accommodate their workloads. So by leveraging on AKS, the institution was able to innovate cost-effective solutions and accelerate the process of concept to a fully deployed service. And they could easily adjust deployment of resources based on their user demand in a more efficient and cost-effective manner. So here, there are 4 key use cases where we could adopt cloud-native technologies to provide significant benefits for organizations across these various industries. These scenarios emphasize the importance of leveraging the power of cloud to stay competitive in today's fast-paced digital landscape. So the first scenario focuses on modernizing business-critical applications, and by transitioning these applications to the cloud, organizations can benefit from the enhanced scalability, flexibility, and resilience. And this allows businesses to be more agile and adapt to ever-changing market conditions and deliver improved customer experiences. The second will also be the delivery of software as a service solutions, and cloud-native technologies enable organizations to build, deploy, and manage software as a service solutions more effectively. And this approach reduces operational costs and improves their faster time to market, which allows for seamless scaling in response to user demand. The third scenario also highlights the importance of real-time telemetry, and this involves the collection of data that's analyzed from devices like cars, smart buildings, and other sources. So by leveraging upon cloud-native solutions and the cloud, organizations can then provide or process and analyze vast amounts of data in real time and enable them to make data-driven decisions and optimize their operations. There's also the added benefits of geo-distributed applications, and that is the last scenario, which also helps users distribute their applications globally. And these cloud-native technologies provide the necessary infrastructure to deploy and manage these applications effectively, ensuring optimal performance, reduced latency, and seamless user experience. So in conclusion, these 4 scenarios demonstrate the value of embracing cloud-native technologies to modernize and optimize various aspects of an organization's operations. So by doing so, businesses can remain competitive and thrive in this digital world. So according to estimates, there will be roughly 7 to 1 million developers worldwide in 2030, and it's an increase of 44 million from the current number. And every developer introduces new concepts and inventions as they want to spread around the world. And our goal at Reliance is to sensitize this upcoming generation of developers about Azure Cloud's top-notch tools and services that they can take advantage of to build tomorrow's cloud-optimized applications. So in summary, modernizing your legacy applications or software can be challenging and complex, but with the right set of tools, you can easily simplify the process by leveraging some of the application modernization strategies that we've outlined or covered. So do well to drop your questions in the chat if you need clarity on anything else. Our experts will be on standby to provide a response. So with that, I'll hand over to Nifemi.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Thank you to our other presenter, Promise. Thank you also, dear attendees, for being with us right up until this moment. This has brought us to a formal conclusion of this webinar. Right now, if you have any questions or any areas that you need clarifications, do well to type them in the chat window so an expert can engage your questions shortly. For further engagement, please do not forget to engage us at www.reliance.systems. Send your emails to connect@reliance.systems.com, and also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to get updates on solutions that can transform your organization for digital success. We would also be dropping our interest form in the chat window and the feedback form after now, so that you can indicate your interest and where we can best help you. Is there migration fees from on-premises to cloud, and how much it costs? Enoch, please, could you answer that for others who probably did not get the question?
So to answer that question, I did mention that, yes, there are charges for data egress if you have data already on the cloud, but moving data to the cloud is sometimes free, but we have to assess your environment to determine the actual cost of the migration process. So in order to like move your application from one environment to another in the cloud, it depends on the size and complexity of the data you are moving. So there might be ongoing charges, right? Since the cloud is a pay-as-you-go environment, there might be subscription fees and transfer of data costs, and also storage costs. So these are all pay-as-you-go services that you would pay for as you use the service. There's no upfront costs. So I believe that answers the question.
Thank you, Enoch. Please, for those who are asking if you're going to get the recording or the slides, yes, please. All attendees would get the recording and the slides at the end of this webinar. We also got a question that said, in terms of cloud-based technologies as a regulated entity, the data cannot be outside the UAE. How is this managed? Could we have some elaboration on that question,
Okay, Nifemi. So Azure addresses the data residency requirements of residents of UAE for regulated entities, because there are Azure data centers in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So your data would remain in the UAE. So as a regulated entity, you can choose these data centers as your primary storage location. Right, and Microsoft is also committed to providing the highest level of security and compliance across its cloud services. So it would adhere to the specific regulations governing these different industries in your region. And in addition to data residency, Azure also offers a comprehensive set of compliance offerings, including certifications and attestations that you can find. I'll drop a link that you could check. And this commitment to compliance and security would ensure that regulated entities in the UAE can confidently adopt Azure Cloud to meet their legal and regulatory objectives or obligations. So I'll share the link with you shortly.
Okay, if we have no further questions, I would want to thank each and every one of us for taking our time to be here today. Please, we would also be sending you the recordings and the slides at the end of this session. Also, we'll have the feedback form and the solutions form for you to indicate your interest. Kindly fill out this form so we can know how to serve you better. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this event. Please enjoy the rest of your day.